Here I am again. As I promised, we'd keep live streaming all through the summer. And today's topic, I've decided that we're going to talk very briefly, really very briefly, because it's such an enormous subject that I think to do it all in a one-er is rather too much, and might be rather ambitious on my behalf. But the discussion or the topic I'm wanting to talk to you about today is all related to fitness. And for years and years and years, people have been saying fit in mind, fit in body. For years and years and years, there have been sports centres, there have been people working out, there have been special diets, going back to the days of when there were the first ones were, I think, American, called Weight Watchers. And all the rest is history, because, as I say, we'd go back so far in time that we'd be talking 40 years ago when I was at school. And so really, but essentially what we are talking about, and I think it is very true, and I am a great believer in it, and I have always had the opportunity. I've perhaps not always made the time, but I have always been very fortunate and had the opportunity of doing and practicing and playing a lot of sports, and therefore in some way or other keeping fit. I am today 61 to be precise. I still enjoy biking and other sports, which of course are a little limited in the sense that they are sports. They're not team sports. I played a lot of team sports as well. I played rugby. I played football, of course, not a great deal. I played much more rugby. I did then a lot of, you might say, individual sports like tennis, rackets, squash, athletics. I didn't greatly enjoy athletics. Of course, all the water sports, sailing, water skiing, and that sort of thing. I was very, very fortunate to be able to, as a young man, as a young boy, enjoy doing all those sports. But just let's keep to the point, and associating the two. We are talking here on the one hand body, and on the other hand mind, and the two must work together in every sense of the word. And therefore, if you are fit in mind, of course you'll be fit, I think, in body, but certainly the other way round. If you're fit in body, you will be very much more alert and on the button with your mind, irrespective of what you're doing as a profession, whether you're an IT specialist, whether you're an architect, engineer, lawyer, in the professions, or whether you're just simply maybe a shopkeeper, or a shop assistant, or a flight attendant, or you can do umpteen jobs. It doesn't matter. The important thing is to have a good, a balanced diet, which is always fundamental. A healthy diet, fruit, vegetables, meat, fish. I'm not touching on the question because it's very, very thin ice when one starts talking about vegetarians and vegans, which I confess I'm not, but I am a great lover of green vegetables and salads and all vegetables and all fruit, and I eat a lot of it, and try, of course, although you always get tempted into eating those things that you shouldn't eat. So much sugar, so many pastries, cakes and ice creams and fried food, which of course is terrible for one's health, and therefore all the good things. If you do that and have a good balanced diet and combine that with some workout or with some sport, then of course, and believe you or believe me, you actually, I mean, you do really psychologically feel much, much better. You feel you've done a bit of a workout, you've burnt out and burnt up some energy, which is always a good thing. Irrespective again of whether you're living in the country, whether you're living in an apartment, whether you're living in a bunker, in a basement, in a bed sit, or in a bed and breakfast. It doesn't matter where you're living. It's a workout. It's a physical, psychological, physical exercise you're getting, and it's giving your body energy. I'd all invite you all to look up on the website www.10timeathletics.com, which is my nephew Richard's new sports centre, just recently opened in Milan, where they have all the equipment and all the necessary personal trainers and advisors vis-a-vis the workouts one could, can or should best do according to, of course, perhaps your age, your abilities to do things, although of course one is able, even if you may be impaired in some way or other, you can still do sports. My great friend Alex Zanardi, who lost his legs in a tragic motor accident, then started biking. He carried on in sports and then had this subsequent ghastly bicycling accident, really quite recently, going back now 6 months, but he's still there fighting, and I think we'll always, I mean, that is the way Alex is made, and if we take him as an example, I think that, but not only him, many other people who have suffered and who have had accidents, tragically. They do happen. If you're doing dangerous sports, then of course they can happen. So of course one has to be very careful. But the golden rule is always, and I've playing rugby for years and years and years, never injured. All my life, all through my playing career, never injured myself playing rugby. I think I twisted or sprained a little finger. My coach, a great guy called Danny Hearn, who was an Irishman who broke his spine playing for the Lions. The Lions is the British team, which is a combination of all the players taken from Scotland, Ireland, England and Wales. He is from Cork. As far as I know, he's still alive. He was my rugby coach, and he used to coach us from his wheelchair because, of course, he was paralysed from the waist down. But he was there with his mind and with his body up to where he could, because, of course, as I say, he was paralysed from the waist down. But we are not paralysed, and therefore we are able, and it's paramount that we do to perform to our best. If our bodies respond the way we want them to, it means that they're doing what our brains want our body to do, and therefore things are working. It's like having a well serviced car, lubricated. It performs well. And it's a high-performance machine. We are high-performance machines. The human body is a very, very complex, almost like a Swiss watch, very, very complex mechanism. It'll always tell you something. Bells will start ringing when there's something wrong. But I must call off now and leave you with that, and good luck with everything.